Hey, what's up, guys? Jamie with Tech Dad Talks back here again with another video. Um, Today, I wanted to start off talking about iOS versus Android. And, on the surface, Android and iPhones, they do the same thing. You text, you scroll, you take pictures, you access the internet with their web browsers, but it's on the inside of the operating systems that makes everything different. You know, a lot of people judge iPhones. Well, we know what an iPhone looks like. We know what an Android looks like. But it's so much bigger than that. So this isn't really going to be a video about which phone is better. Because here's my opinion, guys. Use whatever device you like. Use whatever device works for you. As I said in my intro video, I am an iOS person. My whole family uses iPhones. It's easy for us because we have the group chats. My family, my parents, they do FaceTime. And so they're able to just pick up a phone, click a button, and connect with me. So don't think of this video as which one is better, because I'm not going to get into that. We're not going down that rabbit hole because there's no telling where it could lead us. This is going to be about how they're different under the hood, how they're different internally. What is it about it that people go back and forth over, and why they argue about it? So let's break it down. iOS. Basically, iOS, as you've heard it said before, and I'll say it today, it's a walled garden. Apple is going to control it. Apple has control over everything. It's a closed system, and that's kind of what draws people in with Apple. That's what draws people to iPhones. That's what draws people to the iPad. It's the ecosystem. We all hear that word all the time. It's the ecosystem, and that's what it is. That's what draws people in. Android, they call it the Wild West, man. You can do pretty much whatever you want. There's customization. You can customize the home screen, customize everything. And I know the Apple people are going to say, well, Jamie, hey, this new iOS, we can customize things. We can change the colors. We can do this and that. But you can't really do what Android does. Android has that customization. And not only that, but Android isn't just one particular device. I know people say, I hear people say, well, when you think of Android, a lot of people think of Samsung. But you've got Samsung, you've got Google Pixel, you've got Huawei, you've got Vivo, you've got Motorola, all of these different manufacturers. So the choice of phones is out there. I can pick up a really cheap phone that runs Android. I can pick up a really expensive phone that runs Android. You start doing iOS, you got one device. Yeah, you got the Pro Max, you got the Pro, you got the base model. Now we have the Air. So they're trying to give a little bit of choices out there, but when it comes down to it, it's just an iPhone. So there's that. iOS versus Android. iOS closed, Android's open. Another thing with Android is people like to change the launchers. So you can go in there and change how your phone looks, how it acts, just so many different things. iOS, limited. I will say this, though, with iOS is that the apps are usually a little better optimized. I've experienced this on Twitter, or X, I'm sorry. I've experienced in some of my banking apps, they just sort of work a little better on my iPhone than they do Android, for whatever reason. I'm not going to get into the whole security. A lot of people say, oh, iOS is a little bit more secure. And I think that that's really just a personal choice, a personal view on things. I've never had any problems with my Android devices. I've never experienced any security issues. I've never Had issues on my iPhone, when it comes to things like that. Now, I will say this: when it comes to updates, iOS usually is very consistent, and when Apple releases a new update, every device gets it. You don't have to wait 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Unlike on my Android, well, it depends on what Android you have. I use a Pixel, so usually when Google releases an update, I get it pretty quickly, just like I do on my iPhone. But if you have a Samsung, you've got to wait for Samsung to get that update, make the changes to what they want to have, and it's the same with every other Android device. They have their own things that they do, I guess you would say, on the background. Listen, like I told you in my intro video, you're not going to get the tech savvy jargon. This is just coming from a tech dad that, this is how I see things, how I perceive them. So I'm just trying to bring it on a level that everyone can understand. Ecosystem, I guess, is the other thing I want to mention. With Apple, like I said, they're closed. It's a walled garden. And some people like that. Some people like being locked up. You've got the iPhone, you've got the iPad, you've got the MacBook, you've got the Apple Watch, you've got the AirPods, you've got the HomePod. And I'm going to admit it, I have every one of those guys. I have the ecosystem, and I enjoy it. I can put my AirPods in, be listening to music on my phone, and I look over at my iPad, something's going on, I can switch over to that, play a video, my AirPods connect right away. I can I can hook my AirPods up to my Apple TV. So the ecosystem is what a lot of people enjoy. Android, depending on, what you have, Samsung has a great ecosystem. They've got the Buds, the watch, the phone, the tablet. I believe they have the PC. So there's that. They each have their own pluses or pros, cons, and it just depends on what you look forward to. So I'm not gonna say in this video that, hey, Apple's better, Android's better. I believe it's everyone's preference, everyone's choice. If iPhone works for you, don't let the green bubble guys bash you and say, oh, I can't believe you're an Apple sheep. No, man. It's not that I'm a sheep. It's just that this is what works for me. Do you have to have the best device? Absolutely not. The iPhone 17 is a great device. It's a base model, but they've done some great things this year. On the Android side, you have control over what you put on your device. You can. Here's the thing that I like about Android. I told you I have a Pixel 10 Pro Fold, but I'm not big on the Pixel Watch. So if I wanted to, I could hook up a Samsung. I could go buy the Watch 8. I could get a OnePlus watch. I could pretty much match whatever I want to it. That's the beauty of Android, is that you have control, you have options, you have the ability to add anything you want to your device. I can use my AirPods with my Pixel. They work great. So don't let anybody try to push you into a device, push you away from it. It's all about what works for you. So my question to all my viewers out there: do you want your phone to be a tool that you control, or do you want a system that takes care of you? That's really what it comes down to. Android versus Apple. Android, you control. You make the choices. You have the decisions. Apple, they pretty much make the decisions for you. That's what it is. Which one fits better for you? Which one do you like? Which one would you rather have? And like I said, it's about what works for you. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. If you like the content, please like, subscribe. Go easy on me, guys. This is my second video on YouTube. I'm trying to do the best I can. I'm trying to learn the editing, trying to learn the mics, trying to learn what people want to hear, what people are looking for. So that's my thoughts on Android versus iOS. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.